So after watching my previous video, I know I talked about finances being a real struggle, being out of work, sick and stuff, and showing this new to me, EB 410.2 buggy. I didn't pay cash for this, and I just want to give you guys a breakdown. If you're wondering why if finances are so, such a stress for me, then why am I spending my money on RCs? I do spend money on RCs, but it's not like buying new RCs. A lot of this has been a hustle. The kit that I got has been nothing but a hustle. I hustle my ass off on Marketplace is what I do, and it's a thrill for me. I like it. I'm an ex-drug addict, so I'm always chasing something. I'll be chasing something the rest of my life. I chase my wife every day, but you guys know how that is. You get hit. Anyways, so a little breakdown on this. For example, my buddy Ron gave me a motorcycle. He buys lots, like bulk motorcycles. I don't really know what the title for what he does is, except for that's what he does. And he's the guy that I got my very first motorcycle from, and I traded an RC car for it back in the day. And he knew I was out of work, sick, and wanted something to tinker with. So his living property was overran with bikes, and I'm sure his wife wasn't happy about that. So he called me up. I'm assuming this is what happened on his end. He's like, hey, I got this bike, if you're interested in it. I was like, absolutely. And the bike needs some work. It wouldn't start or run. So I did some work to it, got it running, rode it around. There's a field out by my house. I rode it around, and I'm one extreme or the other. I'm all throttle or no throttle. And after riding it, I was like, yeah, even though I wear gear all the time, especially after my wife's accident, I just thought to myself, I'm too old for this. I'm 50, and I think I need to make wiser choices. So, it sat on the side of my house, and I called Ron, and I was like, hey man, you come back and pick this bike up if you want it back. And he's like, yeah, okay, blah blah blah. And then I was like, you know what? I wonder if he'd mind if I use, since he gave it to me, and even though I told him he could have it back, I wonder if he'd mind if I traded it for an RC car. So I hit him up, and he's like, yeah, sure, man, I don't care. And so I did. That's how I got this EB thing. And also, not to toot my own horn, but there was another RC bundle, like a SC, what was it, SC10 or something like that by Team Associated. Had the Sanwa remote. It had all the bells and whistles that I was kind of going after. But the gentleman with this car expressed, he was a young man, and he expressed a desire to get into motocross racing, and that's why I went with this buggy. Not only did I, want the buggy, but I felt that there'd be more of a future in that deal for him than me getting that other RC car. So it's kind of how my mind works. I try not to be greedy, even though I can be greedy. I admit that. I could also be selfish and self-centered, and all the character defects that I'm ashamed to admit. But I'm human, and it doesn't make it okay. But here I am at 50, and I'm thinking outside of myself sometimes. So even though I'm thinking about myself, because here I am, I got an RC car. So I'm just being real with y'all. Anyways, have a good day, and God bless.